qualified quarterbacks.
Right.
That will not hack it. And off that, he shouldn't be a surefire incumbent starter.
Right.
That's not good enough. That wasn't a job to keep. That's a job to lose, right? You would come to camp trying to hang on to your job as opposed to automatically keeping your job.
Do you believe Coach Belichick actually opened the job up?
It felt that way, and it feels like it was heading that direction. And then, as I've brought up before, we had one after another of ex-Patriot stars and leader stars say it's time to go to Mac in game one, right? We saw Rodney Harrison, we saw Damian Woody, we saw Ninkovich, or we heard them all say, it's Mac Jones' time. It's time to just cut the cord with Cam and go forward. Well, not that that's going to influence Belichick, but that influenced my thinking because I think it influenced Patriot Nation's thinking.
I think the thing is, Skip, Cam has got to find a middle ground. Cam's high are really high. His lows are really low. There is no in-between in his game. You saw him play well those 2 or 3 games. You're like, oh, my God, look at Cam. And then when you saw him play bad, at some point you got to find a middle ground. You can't be way up or way down. Can we find a middle ground that when you don't play as well as you know you can we be somewhere in the middle and not just bottom out?
Okay, I agree with that. And yet, Mac Jones' high will not be nearly as high as any of those Cam games early last year, especially the one at Seattle when he threw for 397. I don't believe Mac Jones is capable at this moment in his life of throwing for 397 yards. They have improved their receivers, but not like Tampa Bay's receivers, right? No. Okay, so what Mac Jones would give you this year is his lows will never be as low as Cam's were last year, right? Where he would be much more consistent because he played on big stages. I don't think this stage will be too big for him. I don't think the comparisons to Brady will bother him one bit. He just sort of plays within himself and does what he does. A la young Tom Brady. Okay, so I'm not saying he'll ever be even close to Brady, but all of his attributes are Brady-esque. He'll be better at dinking and dunking. He'll be better at just running the offense at a conservative clip without throwing too many bombs away kind of bombs. And he will ball control, drive it, and execute at a very high, consistent clip. That's who he is. That's what he was at Alabama. He utilized weapons that he won't quite have this year. But again, his ceiling will be here, so Cam's up here, but it'll stay right there the whole year.
But here's the thing, Skip. What happened in yesterday's game? How many times did he get sacked?
It was a big deal.
So what do you think they're going to...
He said after the game, he said, I got to work on it. I was holding it too long because I believe he was trying to flat out close the deal, win the job, and he was pressing a little more to make the throw that would catch Coach's eye, Josh McDaniel's eye, to say, you know what? That kid's just flat out ready to be the starter.
And what do we see most of the time, Skip, when rookies start? They dial them up. They heat them up. Because we're gonna show you because we gave you all that vanilla stuff in the preseason. Now we finna give you this biscuit and gravy. As Kwame Brown says, someone mama's cooking. That's what we're about to give you this Sunday. That's what we're about to give you next Sunday. So the question is, Skip.
We got a Kwame Brown reference right in the middle of a Belichick discussion.
Someone mama's cooking. Now you know Miami. Now that's a Coach Belichick protege, a disciple. He gonna bring heat.
He will. That's what he does.
He gonna bring heat.
Okay.
They got 2 guys they can put on the island and say, we're gonna come get you, Mac Jones. And he can't get anywhere, Skip. That's the thing. Of all the quarterbacks, I said he was most ready to play, but he's the least athletic of all the guys that got drafted in the first round.
I don't think he's unathletic.
No, he's the least. He's not. He doesn't have what Trevor Lawrence can run.
He can run.
Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, all those guys, Skip. Trey Lance.
You didn't mention Trey Lance.
But he can run. Those guys are more athletic than Mac.
Okay, I got it. So of all the games on this year's schedule, and you mentioned it a little while ago, what game would Belichick circle if he could win one the most? What would mean the most to him? Well, quite obviously, it'd be the 4th game on a Sunday evening at Foxborough, Tom Brady's return. So which of these 2 quarterbacks gives him right here, right now, the best chance to beat Tom Brady? It would be Cam, and I would agree with that. I still say Mac can win a game or 2 more than Cam would over the long haul of this 17-game season. But I would agree early on, it's the 4th game of the year as opposed to the 10th or 12th game. So I agree that maybe he's clinging to the notion of, I got a little better chance to beat him with Cam than I do with Mac. Although Mac is now considered the next Tom Brady, the new Tom Brady. And Mac is a steal in the draft just the way Brady was. It's just relative to how he got him because he fell to only 15th in the first round, but that was quite a plummet.
And a lot of people, and the thing is that what the 49ers had to give up to get their guy, Coach Belichick stood pat at 15 and got a guy and didn't have to give up any draft capital.
I agree. And again, it's not stealing Tom Brady in the 6th round, but it effectively gives him somebody he picked that he stole that could be his next quote-unquote Brady. So in the long haul, that's going to mean the most to Belichick is to show the world, I drafted this kid, and this kid can be as good as that guy, that 44-year-old in Tampa Bay.
You're right. You mentioned the Patriots, and what does the Patriots defense do? They get after your quarterback.
Listen, they can rush the passer. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And if you think about it, look at how they had Mahomes running for his life in the Super Bowl. Look at what they did to Aaron Rodgers up in Lambeau Field. Look at what they did to Drew Brees ultimately. Skip, they can get after your quarterback. Do you really want to subject your rookie to that kind of situation? I think it's going to do it. Todd Bowles is coming. He knows that's a rookie quarterback. He knows that he hadn't seen all the things. He's not where he needs to be mentally as far as the pro game. So I believe at the bare minimum, you're going to see Cam for the quarter pole until and then at the Texans, Skip, come on. Texans might be one of the 2 worst teams.
Okay, but here's the problem with your scenario. If you say 5-2, that has 5-2 written all over.
Yes.
Or you're going to replace Cam at 5-2?
No.
So what?
Skip, here's the thing, Skip. Cam decides when Mac Jones plays. Cam, you play well, you keep the job. You don't play well, Mac's coming in. It's really that simple, Skip. It really is. Cam Newton will decide when we see Mac Jones. If he plays like I believe Cam can play, well, Mac Jones not going to see the field.
Okay.
But if he doesn't play like we think he can play, Mac Jones coming in.
Okay. Well, if in fact Bill Belichick is a genius, as you say that he is, and I'm not so sure.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. If he's genius, then the genius will have a plan in place where he looks down the 17 games and says, it'll probably be game 8 or 9, whatever it is, that Mac is my new, he's the future. He comes in at that point, and that's the end of Cam Newton. Okay. If that's the plan, that's like a negative plan because that is predicting Cam's downfall at some point.
Well, here's the thing, Skip. I believe Coach Belichick was probably thinking, you know what? The kid, let's see, hopefully he can keep it afloat until Drew gets back. But the kid just kept getting better and better and better. And then when Drew got back, Drew couldn't get his job. Well, the thing is, if Cam keeps playing good, well, Mac can't get the job. But if Cam doesn't play good, Mac's going to get the job. It's really that simple. It's not a negative impact. Skip, you got to, especially at that position, you got to have a plan, especially when it's not, like you said, it's not a clear-cut incumbent. It's not like one of these other guys or somebody else that has the job, or Mahomes or Rodgers.
Yeah.
Even, I give another example. In New Orleans, if Jameis doesn't play well, you know Taysom Hill is coming in, Skip. It's not like it's etched in stone that Jameis is the starter for the rest of the season. This isn't etched in stone that Cam Newton will be the New England Patriots starter for the rest of the season. His play is going to determine how long he plays.
So what are the odds that Cam Newton at age 32 just keeps the kid on the bench all this year and goes into next year as the incumbent starter?
I don't believe no matter what Cam does, he can keep on the bench next year.
Really?
No.
Okay, well, why not? If he's that good, I don't get what that's like another negative plan. Like you're predicting the end of Cam.
Just like we saw with Patrick Mahomes. You do realize that Alex Smith won the division. It didn't matter. At that point in time, there was nothing else he could do. I believe Mac Jones gets a couple of reps up on his belt. It's over.
Okay.
Skip, you didn't draft the kid. Okay, you got 1 year. And that's what normally happens, Skip. You get a 1 year grace period with a starting quarterback, especially if you draft him in the first round and he doesn't start his rookie year. Once he's coming in, just like Ryan Fitzpatrick, we was like, well, Ryan Fitzpatrick played really well. Why wouldn't they go with him? And no. Once Tua got his feet on the field and they was like comfortable, it's it. Okay. That's it. Cam gets 1 year in New England, another year in New England. That's it.
So bottom line, you're telling me that Mac Jones will soon be a better quarterback than Cam will ever again be. That's what you just said. He'll soon be better than Cam will ever again be in his career.
Well, no,
right?
Skip. They don't. Here's the thing. Like you